Secretary R.K. Singh, let me begin by asking you about the very important 15-year Defense Technology and Innovation Roadmap that the Defense Ministry recently came up with. Could you give us a sense of what's going to be the value of the kind of acquisitions that we're looking at over the next 10 to 20 years?
Yeah, thank you, Parikshit, for having me here. So the previous session gave us a nice lead up to this one because defense was identified as one of the mega trends by one of the previous speakers. I think that's correct. If you're looking at it in value terms, I think you can expect in capex terms somewhere between 25 to 30 billion dollars minimum per year over the next decade, maybe a little more, I would say, rather than less. In terms of the technology roadmap, the roadmap has been sort of put out by the services in the public domain. It's available now. It focuses on technologies that are of the future, whether it is AI, whether it is hypersonics, whether it is other types of standoff weapons, it is space, various types of precision ammunition, all of those technologies that they feel would be required in the future, nuclear-powered ships, etc., etc. So yeah, it's a fairly comprehensive roadmap of where they think the world is going and where we need to ensure that we try to ensure that we leverage products and platforms from those kind of cutting-edge technologies.
Secretary Singh, when it comes to having this mega innovation and technology roadmap, how much of this are we looking to build indigenously? How much are we looking to acquire? And what's going to be the focus on indigenization?
So our current plans are that at least 75% of our capex will be spent within the country. That's our normative target. Last year, we actually did 88% of our capex within the country. It will go up and down a little bit because it depends on, in certain areas where your technology readiness level, what they describe as TRL, is fairly high, where DRDO or other agencies have developed fairly strong technological bases. Then you'll probably, do entirely indigenous procurement. Then there would be an intermediate category where you would need to do, hopefully, manufacturing within the country, but based on technology transfers from other countries. And there could be a smaller set of areas where foreign OEMs would not be willing to give you the latest technologies, and your own access to such technologies is a long way off. In those cases, you may have to, do a certain amount of, off-the-shelf global buys as well. So I would say that we need to take a fairly pragmatic look at all of these three options. But the trend should be clear. We are going to double down in terms of our indigenization efforts. 75% will be the minimum. Hopefully, we'll never go below that. So when I mentioned 25 to 30 billion every year, most of that will be spent within the country, whether it is in terms of, entirely Indian design or whether it is based on some levels of foreign technology transfers as well.
Right. Just to put this into context for members of the industry sitting with us right now, investors from India and abroad, when it comes to building the capacity for new age warfare in the country, what is it that's really taking away the most of your time? What's going to be the 3 or 4 big focus area of the government when it comes to spending money on new age warfare and new age warfare capabilities?
Well, I mean, the obvious answers are different types of standoff weapons, drones, unmanned combat vehicles, including underwater drones. We also need to really focus on improving our satellite imagery so that we get real-time satellite imagery available to this country, which really depends on putting enough satellites into space, which hopefully with SBS-3 will happen. In all of these areas, then there are, of course, various types of precision munitions that you need. All of these are areas where, India doesn't always have the technology. And in those are the areas where, including MALE and HALE category drones, where we will need to do some kind of technology transfer, but insist on manufacturing within the country. And I'm mentioning drones because we are just about to release an RFP for about 30,000 crores worth of male category drones, which will be made in India. And we would hope that perhaps there could be an Indian design element there. But we are open to either Indian design or Indian manufacturing with foreign technology. But either way, it will be made within the country. Those are the kind of areas where we'll be doing more and more. And I mean, just to give you another example, we've, for example, whether it is missiles or whether it is different kinds of munitions, for a long time we've essentially ensured within this country that missiles are made by BDL, one public sector company. Munitions are largely made by MIL, which is another public sector company. The private sector is unable to invest partly because you've created almost a de facto reservation, or you've allowed essentially nominations to be given to these companies. The problem is that their capacity to produce is quite limited. So for long duration wars, you'll need to have much greater surge capacity. And for that purpose, we've now tried to sort of ensure that we move away from nominations, we move away from product reservations, and we create enough incentives on the basis of order visibility for the private sector to invest in all of these spaces.